罗拉龙看呀你罗得罗人真松，黑日健康通松顶着呀本着松，罗冷过米金你把米个自然些，罗冷过米金你把米个自然些。达拉达我养你达给了新年加送。노르와 토파랑 차송 팀질라야 버르송 달러 냠모진 일 길기는 빠진 채셔 달러 냠모진 일 길기는 빠진 채셔 신라 신트리는 미션들로 가신송人们中我几个送팀질야 버르송
Now we're going to start our program. Tambu dela togong anju zerin dela ya ani zerin tambu dela ya ani hadde chugur muche chol ya an nangse chumechi shinje na cheche bibishubi. So first of all, I want to request His Eminence Chugur muche to light up the offering lamp. Thank you. I want to thank you, His Eminence Tubaruche. The Tishu Gudala Yangone Kamansi Kashi Shuchwatch. That means it did the game. That one day Langa yes, Chimney on you. The Tenzin Norzom the Chungi local temple. Tende zawud bechik koji shubare the antati tende ji koji shubare di chik narang de sani la luxus or chi cha de sha ta de lokten zawud che di an japjo mi yu chik di ani shungel awat soya ta simshu pare ta nasna ta lokten de sumba chik ta zodi ta maju meze na ya la na masna mabush ja go yu sambala ta tanda tempa kompa kechin ko tambuchi tus base benena thone ani ta tende ka sushuye chetu dilechi koti shude bayi anabar tuya tanda ye pomu shasha baya ta tanda ye je mi tola ta ngara ju nyangol na gol ya mo lo cheshu do chi cha de di wala ta cousin de chungju ma bu shu ji ta kona zu tanda 마 상마 춘주도 차되어요. 아니 지금 같은 당고도 차는 서버 한 대대 돈이야. 권내가 차되시야. 또 보면 단다 로쪽기 신사시제 아니 계속 사람살을 계시 아니 메라 딱 많이 오는데 아메리카라다 이런 중의를 독슬레체 아니 딱 보고 진도 시중시 단다 ESL 도스 장제도 제제니 takali jabi jabi, ani orang mana ta kuda pada cece, lokten namro ta kalau kansam jumde jabu, tuende bende dah cini, tanda cik ta cece nala jumde tu pos jabu locere, cesa di cece ani tu di orang la senggu biasa, ani namro ne lokten cece pola tak kuja tu masuknya, ani di kalau kansam neloji. Tadi jauh lebih sana, cumi kami mana des cita, kami sama lah Cina cita juga, kami jangan kalau Cina cima, kami lah Cina satu juga, boleh sih. Yang tu soalnya tadi dia nama sama, tapi tadi cinta cukup juga, maksud sana ya, tadi zerum mampu shuji cumber, nyeja maksud tadi cintu ni juga, nambil yang maksud lapar tuanya yang sebut dia kalau tadi falam dia kamar uci cikan, beli siapa cikan, tadi wal dari mampu shuji sama tujuh syarat yang ini tadi dia yang sudah shuji nama tu tujuh yang syarat cikan nama dia, ani lain yang kawan dia tujuh shuji, tujuh nama. thanking all of our guests. So on behalf of our family, I would want to request Mr. Tenzin to speak on behalf of our family in English. Tenzin
Hi everyone. For those that don't know, my name is Tenzin Norzom, and on behalf of all the cousins and family here, I'd like to congratulate Norzom on her graduation today. It has become a tradition to celebrate one's graduation. We believe Norzom has set a great example for the younger generation. We have many little ones within our family, even my two little daughters I have here, and she is serving as a great example for them to look up to. For those that don't know, Norzom will be attending the University of Minnesota this fall with a focus in biology. Yay! That is a huge accomplishment there, so well deserving of a round of applause. She's excelled all through high school and was an honor student throughout. We are all very proud of you, your accomplishments, and look forward to everything that you will succeed in life moving forward. I'd like to thank all the friends and family members that are here in attendance, and I'd also like to give a special thanks to her aunt who came from California, and Norzom's relatives who traveled from Canada to share in today's success. So once again, congratulations and all the best.
아니 나랑 기억이 잘 세워이나 디 다른기 도좀 나로니 다 제름도 마스나 계시지 되게 다 나랑 남ша 교인도 다 나랑 제도 나로라 graduation 땅이 요래 아마도 가가 쪽으로 시했다 아직 남균에 남대요 다디도 요요 같이 아마도 제지 이면에 다디도 개치야지 땅도 되게 디 땅앞으로 투면 도스조도 좀바다 다코 시제인데기 토네 라지 잡아리데 대단량도 다 미제나로라 차와랑 볼 수 있는 거 테마이가 다 상주의 라서와 아니 대중의 내가 개가 우리 토네가 아마도 뭐 주주의 무슨 계란이 갈로람데지 챙아 무치 소다 무치 제리 유시도 도스도 유시 무치 시세나와 말이야 같이 시시슈이 아니 무치디 그 유시나와 슈기
Good evening. So first of all, I would like to congratulate Tenzin Norzom for her accomplishment. And today I was asked to, as it says, words of wisdom. But I don't have any words of wisdom to start with. And when I was approached to give this talk, so I was a bit hesitant as well as reluctant, because this is occasion that we all know as a celebration where we want to party, not listen to a boring talk. But then, yeah, as Sherala mentioned that he wanted to make it different. So I agreed on that basis. So first I thought I would just talk. But then since this is targeted to our new graduates, so it will be more interesting, accompanied by slides, PowerPoints. But the problem is when you use PowerPoints, it becomes like a lecture. So at the end of this, I don't know whether you will get anything from this or not, whether you will be getting anything out of this, I don't know. But definitely, you will remember me for ruining your party. So anyway, I wanted to begin with this question. So So you have graduated high school, but you still have to go to universities. So why all this effort to graduate high school? It's not a simple task. You have to put so much work and commitment, but you still do it. And then this is not the end. You still have to pursue another degree. So my question is, why? What is the purpose of all this? What do you think? So this is what His Holiness says. I believe that the very purpose of life is to be happy. Because no matter whatever we call it, deep down, we want happiness. We don't want to suffer. We believe that having degree, having all these academic achievements will provide us, will help us or ensure the purpose of life, which is to be happy. But what do you think? With your degree, is there a guarantee that you will have a happy life? You may think that, oh, with a degree, I can earn a high-earning job. With that, I can make a lot of money. Then I will be happy. You may also want to think that, or maybe with a degree, I can become popular, I can become famous. With that kind of fame and limelight, I will be happy. Maybe with my degree, I will be able to acquire power and status. Maybe that will guarantee me happiness. Is that the case? That's what His Holiness says. Since we are not solely material creatures, it is a mistake to place all our hopes for happiness on external development alone. So we think that by changing external conditions, we can ensure happiness. But His Holiness says that that is not the case. We know of rich people. We cannot say for guarantee that all the wealthy people are really happy. I always tell others that if you compare, if there is, device to measure happiness, and if you use that device to measure the level of happiness of a poor monk back in monastery and a billionaire, I believe that a happiness measurement, they will be stark, markedly different. I believe that monks will score higher in the happiness points. So this suggests that it's not the wealth that can guarantee us. And also fame. We know of so many unhappy celebrities. How many celebrities commit suicide? How many famous people are addicted to all kinds of drugs? Why? If they are so happy, why do they need to resort to these things, to drugs, even to commit suicide? That again suggests that fame and status cannot guarantee happiness. Then the question arises, so then what? What guarantees the lasting happiness? Oops. His Holiness says that the key is to develop inner peace. Happiness has to come from within. But I'm not undermining your achievement. It is good. You need to have that achievement as well. You need to have academic achievements or excellence. But parallel to that, we need to develop what is called inner peace. Otherwise, what will happen is, you may think that life is about getting to the top of the rat race. You may, once you graduate, you will look for a job, and then you are in that rat race. If you are very successful at that, if you are able to get to the top of that race, you are still just a rat. So whether you are up there or down there, you are still a rat. So we don't want to be a rat, isn't it? So that's why, look at this picture. You see at the podium, or what do you call that? One who is standing on the first position. There's another one who is sitting on the third. But who do you think is happier? The one who is standing on the third position, he seems happier. If the position determines the happiness, this one should be happier, but it's not the case. And this is my favorite. Many of you might have seen this. Look at this. Who says that you need to be, in order to be happy, in order to enjoy from taking selfie, you need an iPhone? Look at this. They are having a great time. All these suggest that happiness is a state of mind. So if you are able to develop these inner qualities, then no matter wherever you are, whatever status you are in, you will be happy. So now the question is, how do we develop that kind of quality? There are many qualities, but today I'm going to focus only on one, which is like the mantra of His Holiness. Whenever His Holiness gives teachings, he always repeats this, he always mentions this, which is too much self-centered thinking, which is about being kind, having this interest of others, having concern for others, being warm-hearted. So he says, the reason why we need to be kind, we need to be concerned about others, is that too much self-centered thinking is the source of suffering. When you think deeply, when you examine all the problems, when you analyze all this, you will find that deep down, it is the self-interest. It is that self-centeredness, this attitude. Self-centered attitude is all the time a culprit. It's the root cause of all our problems. So if we want to be free from all these problems, so then it is wise, or it is appropriate, it is the right thing to really tackle that source of suffering or the problem. So, a compassionate concern for others' well-being is source of happiness. On the other hand, when we care about others, then what happens is we become happy. Even you try to push away happiness, when you have at your heart the welfare of others, if you are kind, then you will automatically be happier. I think you can relate from your own experiences. In your class, in your school, people like or love a person who is kind, who is always there to listen to you, who is always there to provide help to you. Don't you like that person? So this shows that kindness is so important if we want to lead a happy life. So this is the story about this food seller who runs a restaurant, and then this young boy, he was there and he stole a packet of food or money, is it? And then eventually when he got sick, the father was admitted to the hospital. And then, of course, the medical bill is too much. And they were thinking about selling this and that. But then they got a note to say that is paid 30 years ago. So this is a repayment, repaying the kindness. That boy, that doctor, was that young boy. So he remembered the old man's kindness. So this is, in a way, is fictional, but this can be true. So now that you are entering into a different realm, so you must always remember that kindness helps you. So when you are kind to others, most of the time, others will be kind to you too. And they will be there when you really needed them. Whereas if you are very selfish, if you are always thinking about yourself, then it is very difficult. Even though we like others to like us, we wanted others to like us, but with that kind of self-interest, selfish, attitude, it is actually driving away the friendship that we seek. So what does research say about this? So there are many research done. So kindness increases self-esteem. So we know that self-esteem is so important, especially in the West. When you look at all the causes of these mental conditions, mental was that disorder, mental disorder, you will see that many attribute those disorders to having low self-esteem. So here's the research is suggesting that if you engage in kindness deed, then it tends to increase our self-esteem. And about empathy, because you are kind, you automatically try to understand their feelings. You put yourself in their shoes. That's how it can increase our empathy. And also compassion. Kindness and compassion is very connected. And even mood. This is so important. When we are not in good mood, then what happens? We do things, say things, we cannot even enjoy a good meal. So to have a positive mood is very important. So if we engage in kindness, it is kindness, kind acts, it improves our mood as well. Then it decreases blood pressure when it comes to physical health. A person who engages, a person who is kind, they tend to be at lower risk of developing high blood pressure. And then stress. Stress is one of the leading causes of sicknesses and also death and mental disorders. So research shows that kindness is strongly correlated to a reduction of stress. So in short, in summary, this is what it says. Kindness makes you happy. That's what we all see. And happiness makes you kind. So I won't go into the detail of this experiment because, yeah. And then as I mentioned about stress, how does it work? What is the underlying mechanism? So you have a situation. So if you have a situation, let's say today, if you have to give a talk here, public talk, so let's say that's the situation. So there are two ways to look at it. One way to look at it is that, oh, it's a threat. You look at it as something you don't want to do. Whereas another way to look at it as a challenge. This is an opportunity for me to express myself, to share my knowledge. So depending on these two appraisal of the situation, you get two different results or consequences. So we all need stress. Certain degree of stress is good. Without a certain degree of stress, we cannot function. But too much of stress is bad. So when it is beyond the optimal level, it becomes distress. Whereas that optimum level we call eustress. So depending on how you perceive the situation, then it determines whether it becomes a distress or eustress. So this again stress the point that happiness is about state of mind. Given the same situation, but because of the way you interpret the situation, you have different consequences. So let's say if you have this kind-heartedness, this attitude of helping others, you are really concerned about helping others. If you have that kind of attitude, so what happens is, when you come across, when you encounter any difficult situation, you will be able to transform that into eustress rather than becoming distress. Because you look at it as an opportunity. So now when you go further into your study, there will be many challenges. So when you come across, when you encounter these challenges, instead of looking at, oh, you know, it's so difficult, why me, all this kind of question, you say, wow, I'm so lucky. I'm so fortunate to have this opportunity to do this degree. This is an opportunity for me, great opportunity for me. There are many people who do not have this kind of opportunity. So when you see it as an opportunity, as a challenge, then no matter what the challenges are, you will be able to cope. It won't become stress. Instead, it will propel you to do more, and then eventually will be able to overcome that situation, that difficulty. Oops. So there is something called ABCD model. So I think I won't go into this. Basically, it's the same thing. Is that external events do not determine one's emotions and behaviors, but what does is one's interpretation, one's belief is the determining factor. So I won't go into detail, but you already got the point. And there is also from the motivation point of view, it is so important to always have the intrinsic motivation. So when you study, when you go to do your further studies, so you try to find this intrinsic motivation, which is my interest, my joy. Whatever you do, try to find something that you enjoy doing. So this is the time where you are also deciding what to do after you graduate. So it is so important to choose or decide on something you really like. Otherwise, it will be a challenge. You will not enjoy, and then maybe after you study for 2 years and then you want to change.
you realize that that's not your cup of tea. So it is important to find joy in what you do. When you're able to find joy and interest in whatever you're doing, then it becomes an intrinsic motivation. So you will be equipped to face any challenges. And then when you pursue all this, let's say, being kind to others, being helpful to others, there will be so many challenges. There will be so many difficulties. That is part and parcel of our life. We are in this imperfect existence. So all these faults and undesirable things are bound to happen. So when this happens, this is such an impactful advice by Shantideva. I use this all the time, and I think many people use this. So I hope that maybe you can use this as well. Why be unhappy about something if it can be remedied? And what is the use of being unhappy about something if it cannot be remedied? So look at this. You have a problem. You ask yourself, can we do something about it? Can I do something about this? If the answer is yes, then why be unhappy? Since there is a solution, you go in to find that solution. And if the problem, say, if you cannot do anything about it, so you come up with, you encounter a problem, and then you think about it. Can I do something about it? If the answer is no, then what is the point? So in summary, His Holiness said that be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. That's what His Holiness says. So I hope you find some relevance and some helpful tips. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Hindu
La